hands behind your back.
Stop!
Stop! Put your hands behind your back. Okay, well,
The video shows body cam footage from a confrontation with police in Brookings, Oregon. Jennifer Gaiman, a disabled lady, was detained by police for riding her mobility scooter on the sidewalk without a helmet. Jennifer, however, was well within her rights to use the sidewalk for her scooter because she is a disabled citizen. The cops, alas, had a different take on the situation.
Okay, well, I'm trying to get my camera on real quick. Okay, so I'll let you know, conversation being recorded. Are you able to turn that music down a little bit just so we can talk better? Okay.
I just want to go home. It's freezing.
It is cold.
Why are you stopping me then? I've been riding this thing for over 2 years.
I'm gonna explain it to you in a second. We're stopping you because you're on the sidewalk with it.
Yeah,
you rode through a crosswalk.
It's a legal thing on the sidewalk. Look it up. It's a mobile scooter. It's a fucking mobile scooter.
Okay.
it's an electronic scooter.
Yeah, it's a mobile scooter. Okay, do you understand what that means? It's my mobile scooter. It's how I get around. I don't have a car.
Quickly, Jennifer called the police and explained that she was a pedestrian because of her scooter. The uninformed officers, however, continued to approach even after she explained the situation. Officers kept calling it an electronic scooter, most likely so they could write her a ticket.
Yeah, it's like Iris. He goes on.
Yelling?
Yeah, because I'm getting pissed off.
Why are you getting...
Because I want to go home. You guys are pulling me over for no reason.
We're
It's
on
like
lawful
Iris. It's like Iris. You know Ira, the blue guy with the guy who's riding? It's exactly like his, except it's got 2 seats. That's all it is.
It's an electronic
Why?
scooter.
Exactly.
Do you deny that it's electronic scooter?
It's not electronic scooter, and I can ride it on the sidewalk.
Is it gas powered?
No, it's not gas.
Okay.
I
So
gotta
it's
go.
electronic.
I'm cold. You guys are cold.
You're not free to leave.
Yeah, I am.
No, you're
No, you're
not.
not.
Yeah, I am, because you legally cannot stop me.
You're lawfully detained right now. You are
For what?
literally on a lawful
For
traffic
what?
stop. You see those red and blue lights?
For what, though?
Are you going to
Give
let
me.
him explain it?
Yeah, because you don't have a reason to. You guys are legally. You're taking my disability act and you're throwing it in the garbage.
I have no
This is
idea
my
what-
disability scooter. This is how I get around, and you know that. You've seen me many times around this town riding it.
Okay, are you going to let him explain to you why you're actually on a lawful traffic stop?
Okay. So we stopped you because it was actually looked up before. Okay. You can't ride this in a crosswalk and on the sidewalk.
Are you kidding me? So the mobile scooters that ride around here, all these old people can't ride them on the sidewalk?
Nope, not according to the Oregon Department of Transportation. I'll look it up for you, just so you can know that I'm not messing with you, and he's not messing
Okay,
with
so I'll let everybody know that you guys have bad laws in this town, and that people
It's
that have
Oregon.
disabilities.
It's an Oregon
No, you know what?
Department of
That's disabilities. Okay, these people ride these scooters for disability. You want them riding on the streets to get hit by a car? You kidding me?
you. I don't make the rules.
Yeah, well.
Grab some information.
Jennifer was lawfully arrested and police asked her to see her identification before releasing her. Jennifer was at first hesitant to give her ID, but in the end she did so to speed things up. Several tickets, mostly for driving offenses, were written for Jennifer by the police over the course of around 15 minutes.
No, I just.
Well, I'll go ahead and explain it.
No, I know. I've had a citation.
Here's the deal. I'm going to do my
Thank you.
job.
No, I don't need your job. You're not doing your job, though. You're not serving protecting because look, those people up there.
I'm trying to issue a citation right now.
Okay, come on, hurry up.
Which is actually causing me to pay more attention and address
Hurry up.
your aggressiveness, which is
Hurry the
kind of
fuck
preventing me
up.
from doing my
Yeah,
job.
just
So if you try to reach and grab something out of my hand again, you're going to go to jail tonight.
shut up.
You understand that?
Hurry the fuck up.
That was your court. Your court date is going to be in the log here. Apparently you didn't read over
Yeah, of course it didn't.
the 6th of December.
Yes. I'll double check just to make sure since it didn't bleed through.
Jennifer was followed by the police all the way to her house, where they remained stationed the entire time. Jennifer was forcefully arrested after police arrived at her garage and filed charges of disorderly behavior and eluding arrest.
Why are you taking this call? Fine!
Put your hands behind your back.
Stop!
Put your hands Put your hands behind your back. Okay, well we disagree on that. You're under arrest.
Are you happy or not that I'm getting arrested?
He wasn't even there.
I'm getting arrested because I took this up, and this is a mobile phone. I've been riding this around town for a month, years, and you guys know it.
Jennifer was shockingly found guilty on the felony counts and given a 5-day jail term and an 18-month probation period at first. Jennifer, however, decided to launch a lawsuit against the city of Brookings and appeal her conviction on the grounds that she had been wrongfully imprisoned and that her rights under the Disability Act had been infringed upon. The judge sided with Jennifer this time. Her conviction was overturned and she received a $500,000 payout from the city of Brookings. Now let's move on to our next video. In this video, an unidentified neighbor calls the police to report a domestic disturbance, and the officer's response is caught on camera. The caller said that their 87-year-old mother is being verbally abused, so the police were sent to the scene. However, the reality of the issue turned out to be more nuanced and complex than had been anticipated.
Your mother.
Do you believe, after hearing my mother, that she is in danger?
I heard arguing, and I need to make sure everybody's okay inside the house.
What did you hear? What was said?
I just heard yelling. I couldn't hear
You
what
just
that
heard
was
yelling,
said.
and did I not explain to the yelling? Did she not explain to you the yelling? She told you she's fine.
Okay.
She's sitting on the toilet, and you have to go and see her.
I do, yes.
The police arrested the man who we'll call Papa Meatball outside the residence. They told him that he had to see proof that someone else was there. The neighbor walks up to the conflict and gives a very brash but honest justification. When there is a domestic disturbance, the patrol supervisor is the first person to be absent from the response. Any officer, regardless of jurisdiction, who responds to a domestic violence call involving another officer.
Right. Go get somebody now.
1332 is the call? Can you start aid to check on the feet? We'll have an ambulance come.
You'll have the ambulance come in and look at her, too.
The ambulance will be here as well.
Right. And you're going to pay for it.
Okay. That's not necessarily what's going to happen.
Well, I'm not paying for nothing. My mom's not paying for nothing because you are forcing this upon us. This intrusion is so fucking unnecessary. You have no idea how hard it is to take care of old people.
I'm sure it's extremely difficult. But I just have a responsibility to make sure everybody's okay, and that's why I'm here.
You don't have the responsibility. A medical person has a
I have to
responsibility.
ensure that there's nothing.
Is required by the model policy on police officer domestic abuse to immediately request the presence of a supervisor from the responding agency. The policy stresses the difficulty that the responding officer faces if left to respond alone or with police of the same or lower rank as a suspect officer. This problem is easily solved by the arrival of a superior commander. Both cops involved in this event were patrol officers and not supervisors.
I'm a caretaker. My mom is 87 years old and she's deaf. And I have to yell at her when she's in the shower to get her to hear my instructions. So the neighbors called the police on me because they think I'm screaming and damaging my mom. And they won't take my word for it. I opened the door. They asked my mom if she's fine. She said, yes, I'm freezing because I'm naked on the toilet. Yet they won't take her word for it either. And I'm not about to let a cop in my house to see my naked mother. Do you understand what's going on here now? Have I explained myself?
At the same time, they asked if they might come in and see how Mom was doing, but Papa Meatball said no. If permission is granted, the police can enter and search the property in question as part of the standard routine for police responses. Police must independently verify the presence of bruises and other signs of physical altercation in order to establish probable cause. As the supervisor is being briefed on the issue, he learns that his 59-year-old paraplegic brother also lives at the residence. It's now obvious that shouting alone isn't enough to warrant an arrest. As a result, the police have no grounds to interfere or resort to physical force. Medical personnel arrive shortly after, and the supervisor lets them in to check on her mother. He briefs them before the examination so that they may better understand what they're looking at.
Rollo! I only need one of you. Rollo, in the house.
Oh, no wonder he's not coming. I'm calling Oliver.
Yeah.
Papa Meatball's tone of seriousness and irony in evaluating the cops is hard to argue with because he seemed to be correct. We believe the police should have let the caretaker dress his 87-year-old mother before taking her away from him. There have been no developments or court proceedings reported since this video was made. However, the police could be held liable for obstructing the caretaker's ability to do his job if medical personnel uncover any symptoms of cold or flu caused by the mother's exposure to the cold while confined in the toilet. Now let's move to our final clip. On November 14, 2022, an incident occurred at an SKLD Wyoming nursing home involving a staff member named Sue and a visitor named Michelle. Sue, the administrator of the facility, called the police on Michelle, accusing her of trespassing and taking pictures of her mother without permission. Despite Michelle's claims that she had not committed any crime and that the nursing home was a public facility, the police quickly convicted her of trespassing and detained her.
She's not on the trespass list, so officially trespasser.
There you go. Hi, I'm Sue. I'm the administrator. So we have a family member who had an allegation against her, and so we've reached out to her and let her know that if she wants to visit, we need to meet with the team here and figure out a way we can keep the mom from being. Her guardian does not even want her to visit, but we talked her into letting her. If we do supervised or promise that she won't take pictures of her mom and put them all over Facebook and TikTok and stuff, because the guardian doesn't want that happening. She came in, refused to talk to me, slammed the door in my face, wouldn't let me in the room. So,
you want to trespass?
yeah, at this point, yes.
Way to get her out of here.
Until she will come in and meet with us and figure out what we
you
can
can always
do.
take the no trespass order away, but let's get her trespassed. That's the
because
way
I don't want to not let her see her mother, but she needs to do it so we can keep them out safe.
During the encounter, Michelle argued that the nursing home, being publicly funded, should not be able to trespass on her without reasonable cause. She even mentioned contacting the facility's vice president, who allegedly stated that she had not committed any crime. Michelle believed that her actions were protected by her First Amendment rights, allowing her to visit the facility and take pictures freely. However, the police insisted that trespassing occurred because the nursing home, as private property, had the authority to restrict entry as they deemed necessary. They maintained that Michelle's refusal to cooperate and meet with the facility's team justified her trespass conviction.
Pretty much like anywhere, just like if you walk into a speedway, they can say, hey, I don't want this person here anymore. Doesn't matter what the reason for. If they tell me that, and they want you, they say, hey, I want them trespassed.
So when I come back tomorrow, I go to jail?
Yeah, you can't come back until you
I
figure
will
it
be
out.
coming back.
Okay.
And I already let the vice president and president, I spoke to them today. They said, we haven't heard anything. Well, then why are they doing this? You might want to call her.
Call them and tell them to talk to Sue then.
Correct.
That's the best you can do right now.
Yep, this is just I'm sorry, this is a fucking joke.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong, but so don't come back on the property until you cleared up with the
I'm coming back tomorrow. I'll be here every day, and I don't care if I go to jail. I've already been told by lawyers, by the advocates that help Britney Spears. National News, the News 8, everybody's on this, so they've already told me, if you have to push the envelope, because that's just going to seal the lawsuit. Huh?
You're not going to be able to do that.
No, but it'll seal the deal when I'm getting arrested for no crime.
Okay.
That's not be the crime.
No, but that's what I'm saying. They can't say I'm trespassing when I committed no crime.
That is the crime. That's what we're trying to tell you.
Michelle expressed her frustration and stated her intention was to return to the facility, disregarding the trespass warning. She believed that her case had gained significant attention, citing advice from lawyers and advocates who had helped Britney Spears. She asserted that pushing the envelope and standing up for her rights would strengthen her potential lawsuit against the nursing home. Furthermore, Michelle claimed that one of the police officers violated her Fourth Amendment rights during her detainment. She alleged that he forcefully tried to seize her phone while she was attempting to inform her children of the situation. Despite not having committed any crime that warranted handcuffing, she was restrained by the officer.
I'm not giving it to you.
Okay, well then you're going to be detained until we figure that out then.
Huh?
Then you're detained until we figure that out.
Why are you detaining me?
Because right now you have to be trespassed.
Okay, well, can I make one phone call?
Nope, you have to give me your driver's license.
I don't
just tell me your
have to
name.
give you, you already know my name.
Okay, can you write down her name?
Oh my God.
Exactly how it's spelled. So until we can find you and we can figure out who you are.
Hold on,
Exactly.
I'm going to call and let them know, go pick up my kids, and I'm being arrested.
You're not being arrested right
Oh,
now. You're
yeah,
being detained.
So detained and arrested are two different things. Being
Hold
arrested
on.
means that you've been charged with something. Being detained is temporary.
Hold on, I'm being detained
Okay. Do you want to?
because I won't give them my license.
All right. So what's
I've
your
done
date?
nothing wrong.
What's your date of birth?
I've committed no crime.
What's your date of birth?
I committed no crime.
Okay, now you're being detained then.
Police officer.
And then we'll get a fingerprint scanner and then we'll figure it out. Let go of the phone.
Randy, we want to work with the police.
I'm not doing anything
Okay, right now.
We're not playing games with you.
Only if I've committed a crime
Not
and
true.
reasonable articulable suspicion, and I've done nothing of the
So
sort.
right now you've been trespassed, okay? So we need to identify you so we can successfully trespass you by doing our lawful job.
Okay.
Michelle's perspective on the incident raises concerns about the staff's handling of her visitation rights and the violation of her constitutional rights by the police officers. She intends to take legal action, asserting that her rights were infringed upon throughout the incident. In yet another troubling incident that occurred on October 31st, 2022, a visually impaired man named Jim Hodges was illegally arrested and detained by 2 Columbia County cops in Florida. The officers, Deputy Jamie Godey and Sergeant Randy Harrison, claimed that the walking stick Hodges had in his back pocket was a firearm, leading to his arrest without lawful authority. The encounter was captured on video by Hodges himself. When the officers approached him and questioned the object in his back pocket, Hodges explained that it was a walking stick. However, the officers insisted on obtaining his identification and detained him, citing their suspicion he was carrying a weapon.
Hi there. What's this in your back pocket? I just saw you walking it.
It's a navigational aid. What's the problem? You a tyrant?
Yeah, I am actually. What's your name and date of birth?
I don't have to give that unless
Yes,
I'm...
sir. I was
You
investigating.
have reasonable...
Do you want me to
articulated
put you in
suspicion.
handcuffs right now? Yes, sir, I do.
Hodges questioned the officer's authority and refused to provide his identification, stating he had not committed a crime. He asserted that his Fourth Amendment rights protected him from unreasonable searches and seizures without probable cause or a warrant. Despite Hodges' explanations, the officers continued to detain him and insisted on checking his identification.
Well, you're being one to me.
No, sir, I'm
Have a
doing my
good day.
job.
Am I detained?
Yeah, you are. What's your name and date of birth?
It does not matter.
Yes, sir, it does.
Do you have a crime?
Would you like me
Call
to
your
put you in?
supervisor,
He's right
please.
here.
All right.
You don't.
Sir, what's she stop you for? For a walking stick.
So-
And it could look like a weapon. She asked you to really present it, okay? Now she's asking me for ID. Okay. I don't need the ID unless there's reasonable articulated suspicion that I have committed a crime and committing a crime or about to do a crime. Sir, and her suspicion was that you were armed, okay? And she's asking you for your ID. Well, now she has verified that I am not armed, okay? So there is no problem. You got your ID or not? I do have my ID, but you don't need it, okay? Okay? You deserve it.
77 Whiskey Mike detained. I don't know where his wallet is.
Where's your wallet at, sir? I don't have a wallet on me.
Okay, where's your ID?
Where's your ID at? Pocket. Which pocket? You are not allowed to search me.
It's in this pocket. Thank you.
The incident constitutes a clear violation of Hodges' Fourth Amendment rights, which protect against unreasonable searches, seizures, and false imprisonment. Florida statutes define false imprisonment as forcibly confining, abducting, imprisoning, or restraining another person without lawful authority and against their will. In this case, the officers wrongly arrested and detained Hodges, despite identifying the object in his back pocket as a walking stick.
It's gonna be. I want your name and your badge number. You know, I put him in jail for resisting.
Okay. All right, let's go.
I want your name and badge number too, sir.
Have a seat.
You wanna pick my property up, please?
I sure will, after you have a seat.
You wanna pull this out of my back pocket?
Sure. Here, I'll grab your jacket for you, too.
After an investigation by the sheriff's office, it was determined that Deputy Godey and Sergeant Harrison had violated several department policies. As a result, Sergeant Harrison was immediately demoted and suspended without pay for 7 days, while Deputy Godey received a 2-day suspension. Both officers were also required to undergo remedial training on civil rights. Hodges has retained an attorney and plans to file a lawsuit against the Columbia County Sheriff's Office. He's also requesting a federal investigation into the incident. The case highlights the importance of protecting individuals' constitutional rights and holding law enforcement accountable for any violations. In this next video, in May of 2020, an incident unfolded in Columbia County, Georgia, where a man was filming a video outside the store. However, the owners of the store called the police on him, prompting officers from the Columbia County Sheriff's Office to respond. The officer in charge approached the man and requested his identification, citing a call about his videotaping activity.
Yeah, we got a call about your videotaping on their property. Do you have...
No, I'm not on their property. I never step on nobody's property.
Oh, okay.
No, sir.
No, I've just got the call.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm just letting you know.
Do you have a driver or an ID?
Well, I don't show my ID. I don't do nothing wrong. You understand? I'm filming in public, giving people free advertisement, and they approach me. And if you could just tell them that I'm not doing anything wrong, and
but you weren't on the property.
No, sir. I'm very careful not to do that. I'll pull GIS surveys, and been doing this a long time.
What are you videoing for, if you don't mind me asking?
First Amendment, protected activity. Just
do it like
just
that.
Yeah. Free advertisement.
Do you live around here? Are you from here?
I'm not from around here. Most people know me. I do this. I go around and, show people right from wrong, wrong from right. And, when they say they call the police, I don't read. Yeah.
Just checking on it.
Yeah.
But you were never on the property?
No, I'm very close. Never ever to do that. Matter of fact, as far as I was right there at the edge of the curtilage, the GIS survey starts.
The man asserted that he had not committed any wrongdoing and explained that he was filming in a public area to provide free advertisement. He emphasized that he was careful not to trespass or infringe upon anyone's rights. Refusing to show his identification, he relied on his understanding of Georgia law, which states that unless someone has broken the law, they are not required to identify themselves. The officer alleged that the man had trespassed on the store's property, despite video evidence proving otherwise. However, the officer persisted in requesting identification to potentially charge the man with trespassing. The man maintained his innocence and questioned the basis for his detention, as he had not committed any crime.
Unless I've broken the law, you don't have to ID in the state of Georgia. Am I being detained?
Well, for the moment, yes.
For what crime?
Until we find out what's going on.
To what crime am I being committed?
We were called because you were on their property.
Right, and he determined I wasn't.
Okay. Hang tight for just a minute, we'll get you out of here.
Am I being detained for an unlawful reason? Yes or no?
Right now, you're being detained because you were on their property, and we're trying to find out what's going on.
Okay, and I can prove that I wasn't on their property, and they can't prove that I was. Or, there again, issue me a trespass, I'll be on my way, and then we'll go to court. But
a staff sergeant arrived at the scene, and the man recounted the entire incident, including his rights and the lack of any illegal activity. As the man spoke, the two deputies involved in the arrest stood by, seemingly embarrassed.
How are you? What was your name and badge number, sir?
Sure, it's Staff Sergeant Johnson, 93159.
Hey, Johnson. I was explaining to them, I'm out here exercising my rights, First Amendment right. Private property starts about 1.2 foot on the other side of that telephone pole per government document survey. Well, anyway, I did my homework. I'm down here giving some people free advertisement. They called the police to me. This deputy here legally detained me for 18 minutes and 32 seconds for no suspicion of nothing. He told me that I had to show him my identification to be trespassed. I explained to him I was on the curtilage of that road. Right there, their property starts at the front tire of that VW. And I'm trying to exercise my rights. Both of them gentlemen stood in a auditorium or courthouse with their hand on a Bible, and they swore an oath to protect my civil rights. He's wanting my Fourth Amendment violated, he's wanting my First Amendment violated, and they called the police to me and lied. I got 28 minutes of video that shows me doing exactly what I'm doing right now on public property, exercising my right as an American.
And any time did you go on their property?
No, sir. I'll look. He knows exactly who I am.
Which one?
To the left.
Okay.
And I told him I'm gonna file a formal complaint on him and him. And y'all have never, ever had a problem with Columbia County.
Right.
Ever. And once you realize who I am and what I'm doing, and it really makes y'all look bad, man. And I'm legally detained for no crime. That's a.
As long as you haven't been on their property, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Because you're outside their property, and you're legally doing what you do.
Absolutely. Can you explain that to them so they don't violate anybody else's rights?
They don't want you on their property.
Absolutely. And I don't go on their property.
That's why they were just saying a criminal trespass warning, So you've been warned.
I've been warned the first time that don't get an ID. The second time you do. See, he didn't know that. He didn't know that. Try to.
I'm good to go with you if you're.
Well, I'm good to go. Am I still detained? Thank you. Well, and thank you. I'll wait till y'all leave and then I'll leave.
The staff sergeant acknowledged the man's explanation and confirmed that he had not been on the store's property. The man expressed his intention to file a formal complaint against the deputy who detained him, citing violations of his Fourth Amendment rights and First Amendment rights. Eventually, the deputies conceded that there was no illegality in the man's filming activity and allowed him to leave without further detainment. This incident serves as a reminder of the importance of understanding and upholding individuals' constitutional rights, even during encounters with law enforcement.
Give me some space, dude.
Go ahead, turn.
Give me some space,
Put your hands
dude.
behind your back.
No, give me some. Ow! Oh my.
YouTuber and First Amendment auditor Joshua Roberts set out to investigate the public spaces near Dove Technologies in Florence on September 9th, 2022. Two workers contacted him after discovering his recording of their workplace and voicing their displeasure. An employee took an aggressive tack, reaching for his camera and trying to take it from him. Roberts explained to them that he was acting within the law and threatened to use a taser on them if they persisted in their assault. After hearing his warning, the two workers retreated. Then one of them called for a co-worker whom she apparently refers to as her spouse, although we have no more details about this person at this time. The Florence County Sheriff's Office responded to the scene, thus he may have been connected to them.
Who are you?
You don't have my signed authorization to have my face on that camera. Turn it off.
Can I have your signed authorization? This guy's coming up aggressive, everyone. Can I help you?
No, can you help us?
Yo, get away from me, buddy.
No, dude. Who are you?
Get away from me, dude.
Why are you here?
Back the
Why are you here?
I suggest you leave me alone.
You're on private property.
I suggest you do something about that then and get back inside. Ooh.
Really?
Yeah, really. You like going around with people like this?
You know
think
what?
that's fun? Don't touch my buddy.
One of the workers complained to management that Roberts was trespassing on company property. Roberts refuted the claim by saying he was actually on an easement. An easement is a restricted, non-possessory right of use over another person's land under South Carolina law. Neither the grantor nor the grantee may alter the location, size, or scope of the gift without the other party's consent after it's been made. A South Carolina power pole crosses the property, establishing an easement as seen in the video. Since the electric pole is considered public property, Roberts is within his rights to be near it. Since a utility easement does not instantly change into public property, the workers were also within their rights to claim the land as their own private property. The workers then called the police, who responded quickly to the building. When asked what happened, Roberts said he was assaulted and gave his version of the events.
Nothing, just getting assaulted out here, that's about it.
Getting assaulted?
Yeah, by one of their workers.
What happened?
I was just out here taking some pictures and one of the guys came out here saying he didn't want to be filmed, and he ran up to me, started circling me, grabbed my camera, started pushing up on me.
A third-degree assault and battery is defined in Section 16-3600, subsection E1 of the South Carolina Code of Laws as any unlawful effort to injure another person with the current ability to do so. Willfully and deliberately destroying any type or class of personal property or another person's goods and channels is also prohibited by Section 16-11-510. Possible violations of these two laws included the employee's hostile attitude and one of them attempting to take Robert's camera, potentially with the purpose to destroy it. At some point, one of the officers started talking to the workers while the other kept talking to Roberts. It's important to point out that Roberts acted in a provocative manner the entire time they spoke. The presence of First Amendment auditors and their predisposition to be provocative has long been acknowledged by the Municipal Association of South Carolina. Therefore, authorities and officers inside the state have been given instructions on how to deal with contacts with them. The first 3 cops tried to handle the situation professionally, despite Roberts' provocative behavior. When Sergeant Paul Morrison joined the others, though, things began to change. Morrison claimed that he routinely kept this close proximity when interrogating a suspect, and he did so while talking to Roberts. Morrison tackled Roberts to the ground and tried to damage his camera by stomping on it without giving him any advance warning that he might be arrested. Roberts revealed video from the body camera purportedly showing Sergeant Morrison attempting to erase footage. Frustrated, Roberts said, "That's why I was trying to show him when he was all throwing me on the ground, and I'm like, at least turn off the camera." Sergeant Morrison may have attempted to alter or destroy proof of his wrongdoing. Roberts was successful in retrieving all of his videos. As a result, an internal affairs investigation was launched when he lodged a written complaint against the officer. Sergeant Morrison was forced to resign as a result of the investigation. In a statement released after the event, Sheriff T.J. Joy Lehner said that Sergeant Morrison had broken several policies. The Florence County Sheriff's Office has decided to let Sergeant Morrison go as a result. The First Amendment rights of residents and tourists of Florence County were underlined by Sheriff Lehner. The 12th Century Solicitor's Office is now in charge of the case.